This guest is a musical genius, a fashion and beauty icon, considers himself an experienced creator. There isn't a thing on the planet that he cannot do and that he's not great at. He's worked with all the major brands in the world. I couldn't even list them to begin with. It is such a pleasure to sit here with Loco Ninja.
First of all, the introduction was beyond, so thank you. And I'm so honored and excited to be here. We're just going to deep dive into my life, right? We're just going to talk.
That's just what it is. We're just having a conversation.
Well, I'm preparing you now. I can talk. So it's going to be a long conversation.
Listen, I'm here for it. First of all, I want to thank you for being a part of the Maybe This Matters family. You were so gracious when I reached out to you. And I think there's this misconception that, when you see an influencer that they're not approachable. But you are completely the opposite when done with respect. So I really appreciate that so much.
Thank you. I mean, it's not a lie. There's so many people out here that is unapproachable. Yeah. But I mean, I grew up just with so much love in my heart. So I'm very welcoming and very down for whatever and about community. So I was like, wait a minute, this is happening? Yeah, I need to be here. So I'm excited to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For people who may not know who you are, if they just bumped into Loco on a random Tuesday, who would they be meeting right now at this season of your life?
Oh my gosh. Well, they would be meeting a brand new me. Because I feel like we spoke about this previously about me living 23 lives.
Yeah.
I've been through some things. So I feel like I'm in a place of my life where I know myself so much. I went through so many phases of just trying to figure out who I am, what I am, or being heavily influenced with the people around me. And I got to a place of peace and took some time to just be around myself for a very long time. And I just love this me today, Before I felt like I was searching for love in all different types of ways. Yeah. From friends, from a potential partner, from family. But I'm so sure of myself and I'm just so in love with myself. So if anybody stops and meets me randomly on a Tuesday, you're gonna get a little bit of my anxiety. But definitely the most loving and happy person I've ever been.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what would you say may be a common misconception about you, if somebody was judging you off of just your social media?
I feel like a common misconception is that I'm probably a rowdy hood rat. I mean, it's very obvious. I always speak about I'm born and raised in the projects of New York City, and I'm a Latino. So everybody's just yeah, you must be super loud, super outrageous and crazy off the wall, which you can get that part of me. But what people don't actually know is that I'm so quiet and so calm, and just there's days where I'm home and I'm just not talking.
Yeah.
I'm just, if I'm editing or I'm watching television or whatever, I love being by myself and just being quiet.
Yeah.
Because I can get on my own nerves. But I think that some people just think I'm always loud, always rowdy, always crazy. But no, I actually love being quiet and calm and to myself.
Yeah. It's so crazy. I was watching, this is random, but I was watching an interview with Martin Lawrence. Maybe, I don't know, a couple years ago, whatever. Mm-hmm. And he said that's a misconception about him, that people always think that he's jokey or just always on. But in person, he likes to just be chill. He likes to observe and stuff. So it's so interesting because we met for the first time today in person, at least. And you are very chill. You are very intellectual. You are who you are, right? Mm-hmm. You're always going to speak your mind and say stuff like this, but there's no hood rat in you. There's no lack of sophistication. You might have your little sassy moments or anything like that, but that's just Loco being Loco.
Yeah, when I'm home with my friends, I'm definitely, I will say, they call me a chicken head all the time. And listen, I'm proud to be a chicken head, okay?
Come on, you earned that. New York stuff. That's New York.
It's New York, born and raised. And I just feel like that part of me growing up, it kind of also shaped me and shaped who I am. I'm very just me, and I love just being me. So yeah, you'll get a little of that. But yes, I like to be, intellectual and, calm and chill too.
Listen, the one thing I have one problem with you, and I'm gonna say it because we're
Okay.
friends now.
Yeah.
The one problem that I have with you is that you don't give yourself enough flowers. I need to just put it on out there real quick. You brought Tyra Banks to the projects. Do you understand the level of icon you are? You've done stuff with Keke Palmer. You've done stuff with Sephora. You've done stuff
Yeah.
with Met. You're doing things that are groundbreaking for anybody, let alone for the community that you stand to represent. And you need to be honored and given your flowers while you're here for the groundbreaking things that you are doing in an industry that you were born with 2 strikes against you as a Latino.
Yeah.
And then let alone as a gay Latino, right? Or
Yes.
somebody who represents that community. That you're 2.5, you can't even foul ball at this point.
No.
And you are killing it.
Thank you.
Why can't you sit in that success? Why don't you have enough of those moments where you're sitting in it? Is it just because you still have so much more to go in your head?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm always looking for what's next. I felt like, well, first of all, let's just say thank you so much for all of that. That was, oh my God, you almost made me cry. I'm such a sad, I'm so like an emotional person. I'm very like
You're like
emotionally.
a walking rom-com.
I am. But my friends tell me that all the time. And they're like, why don't you take it in? Why aren't you like, you just did a big collaboration with Keke Palmer. You just did.
Awesome.
You got to act with Keke. Honestly, sometimes I have to like say it to myself and like, wow, I acted with Keke Palmer. Like that's worked, whatever. It was such a goal of mine. And when I was approached, I said, oh my gosh. But the reason why I feel like I'm not like sitting on just like one thing and just, I worked with Keke Palmer. I want what's next? Like what other iconic actresses or actors that I would love to work, with. And I guess it's just a thing of maybe it came from like traumas or things that I went through when I grew up. Like I just wanted to be, I guess, accepted or in a space or by people. And entertainment has been that for me.
Yeah.
Completely accepting. Again, got to work with some greats. But I don't know. I guess it just comes from. I guess it's just simple. Like I want what's next. I want to keep working. I want to keep grinding because there are goals. I want to, take my whole family out of the projects. And there's nothing wrong with the projects. It's just I want more for my family, and I feel like that's why I do what I do. So it would be nice to sit back and think about, wow, like I worked with this person or I've partnered with this brand. But I'm like, I don't want to just sit with it for too long because I want bigger, I want better, I want more. So maybe I just have to learn how to just give myself flowers or just sit in those great things that I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give it to you. So if you don't give it to yourself,
you.
I'm going to give it to you.
I
regardless.
appreciate that. Thank you.
I do love how you talk about family. And I've watched interviews. I've done research leading up to this interview. Family is very important to you.
Yes.
But even more importantly, your mom is somebody who you hold in very high regards. I want to go back a little bit in your story to the little boy who was running in his mom's room and closing the door with the napkin and the lipstick. I want you to talk about that moment for me. Just early on in life, just recognizing who you were, but not knowing how to navigate through it in life.
Wow. That early on, younger me was so, I was inspired. First of all, I was inspired by my mother, her beauty, the way she would put her blush on or her lipsticks. She used to sell Mary Kay. That's a throwback, but she used to sell Mary Kay, and I used to go steal her lipstick and steal her makeup. And it was just so inspiring to see someone that has been through so much and can still be bold. Yes, she was a woman, so she can throw on makeup and she's okay. And she's fine walking down the street. But there were so many things, so many battles that she's gone through. But seeing her in that light, I wanted to be exactly that. I wanted to, aside, putting all the blush, on and the lipstick and the makeup, I wanted to be everything that she was. She taught me, I don't care who you're with. I don't care where you are. If a person that you're with doesn't have enough money or You know, this is the perfect example. She gave me this example, and I've never like thought of anything else but this. But she had told me like if you ever have a slice of pizza, and you know the other person couldn't get a pizza or whatever, cookie, whatever, you always split it. You always share it. You always give to someone. You give the shirt off of your back. Like she's always been that kind of person. And when I was younger, I had a moment where someone had gifted me like cookies. I was a child, and I brought the cookies in the house, and I have siblings, so I didn't want to share it.
Yeah.
And she got me together that I sit with that still to this day, where I'm like, wow. And that's when she went into like, you split, you share, you know. And those are things that, I'm sorry, people are not teaching their kids today. But I've always just been a caring person, a loving person, wanting to give to others. But yeah, I would say, I guess I'm my mom. Like I'm really my mother.
I love that.
And I love that. I mean, even the crazy parts of her, I'm that too. But
that's a real New York metaphor, by the way. The slice of pizza. Like you got to be from New York to really catch.
Listen, it could be $1 pizza. You got to split it. You got to split it. Yeah, my mom's definitely been that person that has just.
It's like your anchor, like your North Star, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's been an angel for me because to this day, she's so supportive. She's always so supportive. I mean, she still gets on my nerve. But, you know, I'm so lucky and blessed to have a mom, you know, that was so supportive. Like, when I would get caught playing with Barbies and the nail polish, she wasn't yelling at me saying that I'm not supposed to play with those things, or if I was walking in her heels or her shoes. She wasn't that kind of mom. You know, she would be like, get out of my heels, boy. You know, but she's just, she's an inspiration. I love her so much, and I wouldn't be here without her, honestly. I wouldn't be able to, like, be my full authentic self if it wasn't for my mom.
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful.
I love that. And I personally love this story. You've told it before, but never on Maybe This Matters, so I don't care. Okay. I want to hear it. Talk about the moment that you had with your mom when you came out to her.
Oh my gosh, my coming out story was crazy. Like, so basically, I'm gonna give y'all the TT. I was hanging out with my cousin, who's also lesbian, and she had a girlfriend at the time that she wasn't like feminine, so she dressed like a boy. So, you know, people would ask questions, including my mom.
Yeah.
And we were all hanging out one time. My ex-boyfriend was also there. She didn't know. The first person I think that really knew was my cousin about me, and I knew about her. So my mom called me into the room, her bedroom, and she's like, "Can I ask you a question?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I felt it. I felt something was coming. And she was like, "Is your cousin gay?" So it started there. And then she started to ask me, like, "Is anybody else?" Basically kind of telling me, like, "Sweetie, it's time to tell me."
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I think this person is. I started giving the list. I was giving the list. And then she was like, "Now, if you don't tell me right now." So basically, she kind of like yanked it out of me.
Yeah.
And the way I reacted was more crazier than her, because it was like, I didn't know what to say. So I was just like, "Yes, I'm gay. I'm gay. What do you want me to tell you? I'm gay."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Get out of my room." And I got out, and I was scared because I'm like, wait a minute, my mom is so accepting. Is this the day she's not going to be accepting? Like, what's going to happen? I went into the room. They were all like ears to the wall. They were like, "Yeah, it's time to go." I'm like, "Don't leave me by myself." And then she called me back in the room, and she was like, "You're my son. I'm going to love you no matter what. I just needed a moment." She called my uncle, who's gay, and he's like, "Girl, shut up. Yeah. You knew he was gay when he was walking around in your heels." So it was, you know, for a moment I was like, oh my gosh, could this be the thing that my mom is like, you know? But again, I had an uncle. I had people that she was, you know, having, she had so many people around us. And she was just so accepting and just so loving. So I'm like, there's no way that she's not going to accept me or whatever. But she accepted me as I knew. And, yeah, she's just been my rider till today. So yeah, that was a crazy moment. And I really thought, I was like, oh my gosh, am I gonna be one of those like situations where I'm like, I'm gonna be in the street, or, and because it happens. Yeah. Sadly, it happens. And my mom was just so accepting. And so anybody that was queer that was coming into my home, she was their mom too. I love that. She loved everyone. Everyone loved her.
Yeah. And so what did that unconditional love at that point in your life mean to you, right? Because like you said, it could have went another way, right? Your
Yeah.
mom could have been against it or, resisted it. But for her to show you that compassion and love right up front, no delay, right? Maybe a little delay with the go to your room. But for her to show you that, what did that mean for you at that point as far as your journey as a queer man?
Honestly, it was once I felt the acceptance of my mother, no one could tell me nothing.
Love that.
No one could tell me nothing. I was going to do whatever I wanted because my mom had my back. So if I wanted to wear a rainbow belt, I was throwing that on. If I wanted to put on a wig, I was throwing that on. No one was going to tell me anything. Now, I did go through some crazy things in my life, all types of, crazy abuse and so on. But my mom always taught me to be strong. Just, pull up your pants, your grown man pants, and just, I don't know. She just told me not to take no shit and just be myself.
Yeah.
And she was there through the whole thing. So I just felt like I said, I just felt like I could do anything. Sorry. I'm in my head now. What was the question again? So I could
No.
if I missed
answered,
anything.
no, you hit it. You hit it right on the money.
Because I be feeling like I be missing some things. I'm
No,
like, wait, I'm going off track.
You're doing so good. I'm like lost in the story.
Sometimes I get lost in my own story.
No,
okay?
It's great. I do want to touch on some of the bullying because it is a real part of the world. And
Yes.
I want to make sure that if somebody's watching this who's currently getting bullied, that they know that it is possible to make it on the other side, right?
For sure.
How did you deal with bullying, at a young age because of what you identify or who you identify as, pardon me? How did you deal with bullying?
I had no choice. That's what I tell people. I had no choice. So how I dealt with it was, and later on kind of like created these traumas for me, right? But like the way I dealt with it was just like moving through it rather than like at first I was trying to hide from the world. Like I was having lunch in the bathroom stalls like you see in the movies and because I have went through all the things you see in these movies and plus more. Yeah. But I just kind of like went through it. There was no way around it. So was I getting beat up? Did I get stabbed? Did I get spit on? Did I get followed home, every single day getting jumped in Harlem? Absolutely. I would say the thing that helped was finding my tribe and my community. And whether it was like a friend or a cousin who was gay as well and that understood me, I surrounded myself with that. I also surrounded myself with family because, thank God, all of my family was so accepting.
I love that.
I had like a cousin that was a little, confused in terms of like, what are you and what is this? But that's also because he was in the streets and, he was a little rough around the edges. But then like he realized, he was like, wait, you're my blood. You're my cousin. How am I? So I didn't really have, a bad experience with family. So that helped because if I needed to speak to someone about something, if I needed to get or felt like I needed to be defended somehow, I would just call on my family. And there was times when I was in school where, you usually think because you're a straight men are going to be the ones that are really going to pick on you and so on. No, honey, it was the girls too. Like I was so busy trying to navigate through school. I'm talking like every grade because I was picked on since I think maybe 5 years old.
Wow.
I remember having a Barney book bag and being called gay as a kid. So I was like, wow. I mean, moments like this is when I could think about like, wow, I really went through some shit.
You got stabbed.
Yeah.
Straight in the head.
Honestly, that was probably one of the craziest things that has happened to me.
Yeah.
And Do you want to dive into that?
Yeah,
Do you want to go into it?
Listen, go into it. We here.
So I forgot what grade I was in when this happened to me, but I was in class and my classmates was constantly throwing the F word and calling me all types of things. And at one point, I was just so tired, just like, I cannot be a punk. Like, why do they keep doing this to me? I don't even know what it is that they're calling me. Like, they're calling me gay. They're calling me, the F word. But it's like, what is that? I don't even know what this is.
Yeah.
Because I was still not there yet. I didn't come out till I was 14.
Yeah.
This was before I was 14. So I'm just, trying to figure it out myself. And I just threw it back at them. And I said, no, you're gay. You're this, not knowing what the outcome would be. But I felt it. And I remember as soon as I said it and I saw their faces, I was like, okay, let me ask to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I asked the teacher, I was like, can I go to the restroom? And I went. And I don't know what made me not be aware. I just wasn't aware. I was just like, all right, I'm out the classroom. I'm good. No, one of them followed me, asked to go to the bathroom as well. And I didn't look back. I didn't see him even come out the classroom. So when I went in the bathroom, soon as I went in the bathroom and I went to the urinal or something, I can't remember. I heard footsteps. And when I turned around, instantly got striked with a screwdriver. Wow. Twice. So in my head and on my forehead. Every time I talk about this, I get emotional. So I'm trying to laugh myself out of it.
No, I get it. But I want to say something really quick because there's something that you said that I think deserves to be noted. And that's, you shouldn't go anywhere and feel unsafe. That's a shitty world that we live in. Yeah. And I want you to know that whenever I'm around, you're safe. But regardless of anything, I don't want you to normalize that.
Yeah.
Because you deserve to feel safe wherever the fuck you go. I don't care what world we live in. I refuse to accept that.
Right.
And you were a child. You should not be looking over your shoulder as a child. You should not, those instincts should not be with you. You should not have to carry that.
Yeah. It's crazy because, sometimes I grew up when hearing people say oh, I deal with this trauma or that trauma, adults. Yeah. And I was like, always, what traumas are you dealing with? That how's that possible for you to carry traumas into your adulthood? Yeah. I learned that later on. Yeah. Because when I walk the streets, I'm constantly looking over my shoulder at all times. I'm always aware of what's going on. That came from that. That came from that moment in the bathroom, and then other moments that carried on throughout my life. But that was I blacked out. As soon as I got hit in the forehead. I remember seeing the blood come down, and then I got struck on the head, and I blacked out.
Yeah. And
those are the moments that now realizing, wow, there are traumas that we carry, into our adulthood. So, a part of what I do now, whether it's, content creating, acting, music, whatever it is, I think my whole goal of pursuing what I was pursuing is because I loved it, but also because I want to be the message. And I tell people all the time, and I say this probably in every interview, but my activism is my existence. Because listen, I might not be the most smartest person, to know that knows everything, and I can't help every single person in the world, but me being alive, me being on this podcast right now, me just existing and telling my story can help, the youth that comes after me. That's why I do what I do. Yes, it's fun. Yes, I love being on a set. Yes, I loved acting with Keke Palmer. I love meeting Tyra and all these people. But the thing for me is that 100 years from now, even when I'm gone, that the world is not dealing with what I went through and what we're currently going through. And yeah, I just that's my life mission, to make the world better for people like me after me.
I love that. And I think you're doing it. I think everything that you're doing, and I don't want to isolate it to just your community or the people that you represent, because you inspire me as well. You inspire me to go out there and be my best self, my authentic self, and I identify as a straight man. Yeah. Your inspiration is beyond that, but what you're doing for your community, it's needed. And what I love about what you do is that you don't only speak to the queer community, you speak to the Latino community, you speak to communities that represent who you are as a person, because you're not just one thing. Just like you're not just, content, you're not just music, you're this embodiment of a beautiful human being. And what you put out in the world, it fucking matters. Like, it's the reason why I wanted you on this podcast, because it really does matter to me. And to be able to sit across from you and get this transparency and this vulnerability, I'm getting emotional. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could go back in time and have been that friend for you, who could have helped you and defended you and say, yo, it's fucking okay. Like, whatever you're going through, we're going to go through it together. And from this day forward, I promise you that whatever you're going through, we're going to go through it together. You're not alone. If you ever felt alone, you always got a friend in me going forward.
Thank you.
So I just want you to know that. What I wanted to know
Well, I just want to say really quickly, though, this moment right now, like, I feel like it's important for people that are going to be watching this podcast that two people like us can exist and share that love and that good energy. And it really is an honor to be here, because I feel like that kind of did something for me. Like, you saying that, I've heard so many things in my life, but you saying that was kind of like you spoke to the younger kid in me. And I'm like, Mom, I got a friend. Like, it's one of those moments. So thank you so much. Because I feel like we need that. We need those moments as adults to kind of like close some chapters that we're struggling with in our past. So thank you. And thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, of course.
If you had to give advice to a kid that is maybe in the midst of what you went through as a kid, what would you tell them?
Oh, man. Do exactly what you're doing. Do exactly what you're doing. Don't change yourself for anyone. It's going to be hard. And y'all might, come across some really hard times, but let me be the example that you can still exist. You still can maneuver through this crazy world that we live in, but just remain you. So I guess, some people like to say this a lot, and to some people it comes off corny, but just stay authentically you. Please. We need you. We need that. And just let me be the example of that. So yeah, just, that be authentically yourself and stuff. And it's gonna get hard. So find your tribe. Find your community, because I guarantee you are not alone in whatever it is that you're going through. Yeah. Like, no one on earth has to be alone. But I know that it's hard to like find your people and communicate what you're going through. And yeah, I just want to send send out hugs to everybody out there that's watching. And also, I told you I could talk.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm here for it.
I could talk.
Come on now.
Also, because I have so many thoughts, for the people that don't understand or get people like me, I know that sometimes it's scary. I know that sometimes you come across, walking by me in the street and you're like, what is that? I see it all the time. I can promise you, I am just human, just like you. I also have love in my heart, and I'm no different from anybody else. I just express myself differently. I look differently. And I think at the end of the day, it just comes down to love.
Yeah.
It's just love. Just the love in you, the love you give to others, the love you accept from others. And yeah, so my message to the world is love. It's really important.
Yeah. It's so interesting to me, because this is not the first time you've did it too. I've seen it in other interviews where you give people so much grace. Instead of saying that, when they see someone like you, or when they acted like this towards you when you were a kid, you say it was because they were scared.
Yes.
And from my perspective, I'm always like, they're ignorant.
Yeah.
And I think it shows how gracious you move through life, to just still be, you've been through so much, and to still be that compassionate person, to give people the excuse to treat you differently. It pisses me off, but it makes me that much more of a fan of yours, because you should be angry. You should be pissed. But instead, you carry yourself with grace and understanding. How do you keep that level of cool all the time when somebody like me right now is boiling, still wanting to beat the kid who stabbed you up with the screwdriver? I just want to get my hands on him. How are you able to just keep this humility?
I'm the grace giver. I will say that. I'm the grace giver.
Yeah.
I just know at the end of the day, it's so simple. Yeah. We're all human and we're all going through something. So I have like that I think about all the time. When someone is throwing a slur at me or stopping me and they're like, whatever they're going through, I know they're going through something. I know that it's not personal.
Yeah.
I try not to, like, as many times as people have even stopped in the car to call me like the F word or anything, I'm just like, okay, God bless, because I just know that they're going through something. Because even if they don't agree with, their quote unquote, they call it my lifestyle or whoever I am and what I am, something inside of them, there's something going on. I sometimes don't even think it's really me. I just think that they're probably struggling with something and they're hurting in life. I know the feeling, I'm not innocent. I've went through a phase in my life where I was a bully because of all the things that I went through. So I know that feeling. So I give everyone grace. I forgive any and everyone. And yeah, I think I just got that from like my mom. And then also, I'm not like super, super religious. I am a spiritual person. I grew up in the church. I grew up going to church camp. And I learned so much from, church camp, Camp Joy. That was like my everything growing up. I was telling you a little bit about my life going to Camp Joy. But I feel like I've learned so many things through my 23 lives that I've lived. And I don't know. I always go back to thinking about love.
Yeah.
Like, people need it, yearn it, want it. And I just think that some people are just not in a good place. So I give them grace, And also, I don't want to cause any more drama into the universe and argue back with anyone that is already stern on how they feel. I am always open to having open conversations with people that don't get me or don't understand my community and so on. So I always welcome the conversations.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that is what needs to be had. Like, we need to have conversations. We need to communicate. We really need to communicate with the youth that is coming after us because, they're the ones that are shaping what's going to happen 100 years from now. And we don't want this continuous thing of, homophobia, transphobia, racism. Like, it's 2026. Yeah. Why are we going through this still? Like, why do we have to, experience people dying, people, getting attacked? It's horrifying.
Yeah.
So I think that if we instill more love and more just showing up for people in general, for kids, for adults as well, we can shift what we're going to see 100 years from now.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I couldn't have said it better. Well, I could have said it at all. That was beautiful.
And also, thank you, but also because I just love people.
Yeah.
I love people.
Yeah.
Like, I love communicating. When I used to work in retail, people around me, everyone around me would be like, why are you so happy to be here, girl? I'm like, I'm happy to be here because I'm alive.
Yeah.
And also because I have a goal. And why be rude or mean to someone that, one needs us in a moment.
Yeah.
Whether if you're selling a shirt or selling makeup or whatever it is, but just being there for someone could change someone's lives. So yeah, I've always just been that kind of person, always wanting to show respect to people, always want to love on people.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just full of love.
At what point did you recognize that you weren't just Loco, right? Like, you weren't just a person, but you were actually somebody who was representing a community, and you took that on as a personal responsibility?
Wow. Sometimes I still have those moments where I'm like, is this my responsibility?
Yeah.
Am I like shaping out people or inspiring people? And then I get stopped in the street and I'm like, holy, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, So I mean, it's those moments where I'm just like, wow, like I'm really doing something. Like I matter to someone, and I don't know. I just have oh my gosh, I'm over here. You hear my stomach? I'm like, you hear my stomach? I'm hungry. No, but I don't know. I'm still fighting with that.
Yeah.
Like fighting with accepting that I'm like changing someone's life potentially or helping someone, or so I don't think I'll ever get used to being in the limelight, I guess. I don't know. Like I feel like I'm still in this place of like I'm still grinding and hustling.
Yeah.
So like I'm not where I want to be yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like I still struggle with certain things, like accepting things and also accepting my flowers and those kind of things. But yeah.
And so now that you've built this humongous platform, right? Like you have so many people who look up to you, so many people who follow you because of the content that you make. How important is it for you to connect with your followers and to show them the authentic you?
You know what the crazy part is? When I see some of my followers commenting and like, you know, I'm curious. I'm a Latino, I'm nosy. I will go to people's pages. You know, I follow some of, you know, my supporters back. And it just blows my mind when I see other men, teens, whatever, also like wearing dresses or makeup. And I know to some people it's controversial, but you know, when I see people that look like me, I'm like, whoa, like I really do have an impact on people. And that really pushes me to continue to do what I'm doing. It just feels so good. It just feels really good to just go through my comments and see people that look like me. And I feel like I'm kind of like that person for them that they can see it and be like, okay, I can be myself. Like I can just do me and live my best life like Loco or whatever. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. It has shifted and changed my perspective on so many things, but it just inspires me to just keep going and just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know?
What's your relationship like? And this is a tough question, so if you want to take a moment to think, it's fine.
Okay.
But what's your relationship like with confidence? Because I tell you right now, I struggle sometimes. Like I'm more.
I struggle too. I struggle too.
But you look like the most confident person on the planet.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
No, I struggle with it. And I mean, I'm in such a better place, like with it, you know. I feel like all my life, including, you know, being called all those things, I've always heard you're too fat, you're too this, you're too that, you're too this. And I felt like I struggled with it because it was always kind of like told to me that I wasn't perfect, or why are you so this? Why you eat so much? Why is it? Like I was always being picked apart.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was super hard for me to deal with because I always was the type of kid that was like wanting to perform in front of my family in the living room. Like pop stars came on television and I was like, I'm gonna be a singer, I'm gonna be a star. And my mom used to be like, perform for the family. I was always that kind of person. But then being around people and constantly hearing like, you're this or you're that, whatever, it kind of messed me up a little bit. And that, you know, carried all the way until like being an adult, because I still suffer from body dysmorphia. I think I look like I'm 400 pounds. And I know that that's something that I'm dealing with and I struggle with every day. I'm human. So I deal with these things. But I feel like I have my moments where I do wake up, I look in the mirror and I'm like, damn, you a bad bitch. And I'm like, you know what? I wanna put on this fit, I wanna record it and I wanna share it. So whatever I'm feeling in that moment, someone that's watching can feel it too. And they can continue to spread that love, spread that, you know, be authentic, you know, keep telling people, keep pushing people to be them, you know, their full selves, because that really changes and shifts the world. For real, for real. Like I know that some people might think it's corny, cringy. Yeah. No, it really does. We as people are running this whole entire planet, okay? Yeah. So like, it's contagious when you have like, you're filled with, again, love and that support. So confidence today, you know, I still have my moments. We're always gonna have our moments, but I feel like I'm really that that girl. Like, I'm really that boy, whatever. Like, I'm really that they, them, bitch, whatever.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm everything. I'm just, I love my, like I said, I'm in a place of, I love myself more than I have ever. And, yeah, I just want to keep spreading that, you know, to my following and to anyone that watches the podcast.
Yeah.
Just keep doing you and being you. So
I love that. You know, I was going down the journey of Loco, and I was like, man, this person is such a phenomenal person. And I didn't even know that we connected through music.
Oh,
like,
yes.
We're both very musical, and you're very talented, by the way.
Yeah.
Was music an escape for you in a certain way? Because I know music for me was like, I grew up in the projects too, in the Bronx, right? In Fort Independence houses. So I grew up in the projects, and I mean, by the time I was 10 years old, I must have saw at least 3 people murdered to gun violence. By the time I was 18, that number went up to 7, right?
Yeah.
So I've seen the craziest things, but music was always that place where I could kind of go and be whoever I wanted. I mean, I think when I first started rapping, I was rapping like a gangster. Like Jadakiss was my favorite rapper.
Same.
I was talking craziness.
Same.
But was music that for you as well? Like this place where you could escape?
Oh, music was my escape. It was my outlet. Like, I wanted to be an artist since young. I was performing in front of my family. My mom, every time my mom put on a music, she's like, give us a performance. I knew I wanted to be an artist, hands down. And then I went to Theater Puente Performing Arts school, and I was in theater and all that. But music, I felt like also theater kind of shaped my my animated self, like, because I could be very, you know, animated. But music was the place where I could write down everything that I was going through, whether it was something sad or whether it was like my get back at whatever I went through, and experience form through music. That was my way of like getting out everything that I was holding in since young and up until like now. I'm on a little hiatus. I did put out like a holiday song, and it was, you know, it's been a while since I put something out, and people were excited about it. I took a break because it just felt like, you know, there's so much going on with like music now today, and it just feels like so much is just going on, and it becomes not fun anymore. And I went into music because I got to express myself and have fun with it. So yeah, and then also like, you know, teams shift and change, and some people don't get where you are now as an artist. So in the beginning, it was me rapping from the streets too. I'm from the project, so I was talking about gun violence. I was talking about my first love, you know, with a guy. Just so many different things. So it's always been an outlet for me. It still is. And today, you know, things have shifted and changed with how I want to express myself through music. And also just like when I first started, I was on the stoop, literally on the stoop in the projects, rapping and talking about, you know, certain things. But we grow. I'm not there no more. And I have, you know, found a new part of me. Back then, I wasn't on the stoop in a dress. I wasn't rocking, you know, full face of makeup and how I am today. And that's where I am today.
Yeah.
So, you know, right now I'm still in the midst of building and creating a new team and getting the sound that I've always wanted together, and me being able to show up as who I am now. So it's been a journey. Music has been a journey. I mean, you can tell, I know you can tell me stories because
for sure.
It's not hard. And then being independent, oh my gosh, it's so much that you have to think about besides the music, like marketing and like how you're gonna, you know, be putting yourself out there to the universe for people to accept you, or if they're gonna accept you. It's so much that goes into it. So I needed a break. I was like, I need a moment, but soon.
You touched on something there that I want to talk about. You said, you know, that you went from rapping on the stoops to rapping in dresses, full face of makeup.
Yeah.
When did that level of comfort come for you to just, you know, dressing, you know, conventionally, to just being the fashion icon that you've become and the beauty icon that you've become? Like, when did you start really feeling comfortable saying, like, you know what, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want?
You know, I think it started, there was 2 things. One was my old team telling me that they didn't get it and they didn't understand why I went from wearing the big varsity jackets with the fitted hat with no makeup and the baggy clothes to wearing a dress or a skirt and a full face of makeup. And that kind of like fell apart.
Yeah.
And I sucked because I was creating really good music that I loved. Although I still was trying to figure out, you know, the sound that I wanted to do, and they were trying to stay in just one place with it. But I feel like it was that where, you know, you feel like a door was closed in your face, or like someone kind of like shoved you away and said, we can't do this because of who you are now. And that was the case. They knew I was gay, but they just didn't want to be behind someone that was rapping in a dress.
Yeah.
And that sucks because, you know, we could have done amazing things together. And then, so yeah, that lit a fire under my ass. And then also I had a best friend that, you know, we would get really creative when it came to photo shoots and marketing and stuff. And I always give him his flowers. He always was like, you should do this. You should, you know, I can see you doing this. And I know you would want to do this. You probably won't even think to do it, or you're scared, but let's try this. And, you know, he was always one of those people that were like, try this, put on this. And I remember one day he told me, we're going to do this like high fashion editorial, like photo shoot. And I think you should wear a skirt. And I was like, absolutely not. I am not that gay guy. I'm sorry. I'm not the gay guy that throws on the dress or the skirt. I threw on that skirt that day because I was like, okay, he wants to see it. He wants to try it out, whatever. And it was the best feeling.
Love that.
It was the best feeling. I felt so alive. And I know it sounds crazy because to some people, they're like, oh God, like this guy has these balls and something between his legs. I'm just gonna be real. These things between his legs, and he's wearing a skirt that's disgusting. You know, like I've heard people say that. Like, and it's just like, if you just get out of your like mind and your head and just look at me as a human being that just likes fashion or just like is trying something new or whatever, like, and just let me be me. Like, you're not putting on these clothes, you're not doing it. And then it's like this whole other thing of like people saying that, you know, we're putting this on to like the youth and the kids. Anywho, I felt like for me personally, it was just like, oh my gosh, this is who I am. And then after that, it was a wrap. Like, my friend was like, oh, I seen this dress. You would look really nice in it. And I'm like, I don't know. And then I remember I got called for a New York Fashion Week opportunity to be in a campaign for Patrick Church, who is like iconic. And I got to set. And on the clothing rack was, first of all, shout out to Patrick for being plus size inclusive. But I was like, a dress? Okay. And it was like a mesh dress and whatever. I put it on and they styled me and they put it all together. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm really it. Like,
there we go.
I love this. Like, and it was just like little things, little pieces of the puzzle that just had to be put together in order for me to like be my full self. So yeah, those are the moments that I felt like, you know, it's time to get comfortable. Yeah. It's going to be uncomfortable to be comfortable. Know that. Like, it's going to get very uncomfortable to be comfortable. But I don't know. I just trusted not only my friend and my experiences, but trusted myself. That's like the takeaway. Like, trust yourself, bet on yourself, because now people know me for the dresses. And, you know, I did a little pantsuit today, but, you know, I like to throw on a dress, you know, a full face of glam, and it makes me happy. It just makes me happy.
Yeah, fashion seems to make you happy. I see a lot of expression in your fashion, and also the way you present it. Like, some of your content, it can be so over the top, dramatic with the water falling and stuff. And I'm just like,
oh my gosh.
And I love it because it shows that you really, really do enjoy what you're doing. Yeah. And that's critical. But it's also a heavy responsibility to be in your position, right? Where content is something that you're looked at and people are like, oh, well, this is a content creator, which I don't like calling people content creators, but you start to wear the burden of a content creator where it's like, I got to shoot the video. I got to edit the video. Did I wear this outfit already? Yeah. How do you deal with that part of content?
Oh, my goodness. I'm a planner.
Yeah.
I like to plan things out, and everything you said is what I be thinking and what I go through, even down to did I wear this already? Like, because I always want my content to be fresh. Whether I'm a rapper, whether I'm an actor, whether I'm a content creator, influencer, whatever people are looking at me, it needs to be production quality. Like my friends call me production. They're like, hey, production, we need organic from you today. Like, and it's hilarious. But I love putting quality into my stuff. So like, I said, oh my gosh, because when you mentioned the water coming down and stuff, that was me in a hotel, just like, I felt so good. I can't talk about the project, but I was working on a project. And I was at the hotel just loving myself. Like, I was just like, wow, I'm really out here in San Francisco, never been, with one of the biggest, largest companies in the world. And we're about to put something great out. And I was just feeling myself. I got in the shower and I said, this needs to be content because I just look so fab. And I just was just loving on myself in that way. But I feel like that's what also people could take away from my content. You'll know that I'm loving on myself and I'm loving myself because I'm putting that into my content, and I want people to take it in and they do the same and then pass that on. That's my goal. So yeah, I'm just in a place in my life where I'm just trying to be fully comfortable and supportive of myself.
Yeah.
Show up for myself more, love myself more.
Yeah. Would you say your fashion style specifically? Would you say it's more of a method of expression or more of a method of protection?
Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like it could be both.
Yeah.
I feel like first of all, I just love colors. I love patterns. I love pantsuits and dresses and shoes and makeup and all that. I feel like I love putting things together. Like whether it was content or my makeup or my look, right? So when it comes to fashion, I always want to make a statement.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for 1,000 people to compliment me that day at all. I just want to make a statement. When I'm gone, people are going to be like, oh yeah, he was really killing it. Like he really lived, breathed, ate fashion. Mm-hmm. And I have goals, with fashion as well. I would love to have a collection of pantsuits, a collection of dresses for, non-binary people and, women or men, like anybody that, listen, clothing is just something that we add on to ourselves, that we place on ourselves. It's not that serious. Like, it's just clothes, it's fashion. And I think some people think too hard into it. Like, they think too serious. When I get stopped in the streets in the worst ways, when I have a dress on, I'll get that. And then I'm like, you know what? I still did that though. Yeah. You stopped because I look the way that I look, but I'm really eating.
Yeah, and you're a fashion icon. I'm gonna say it all the time.
Thank you so much.
Every look,
and
killing it.
Listen, I encourage everybody to put on your best pantsuit, your best dress, your best skirt, whatever it is, and just go out there. I mean, right now it's a low coat outside, but go out there and just like literally live your best life. Live your best life. And right now we living in tough times, but like live your best life. And fashion is it could help in so many ways. Like, it could change our moods.
Yeah.
And how we treat other people and so on. But yeah, fashion is a big deal in my life. And I love every part of it. So
I love that. I love the way you express fashion.
Yeah.
And this came to my mind too as you were talking. It's just random thoughts that pop into G's head. I was watching something. I want to say I was watching a piece of content, and it was about a wife talking to just a random person, and she was like, I get the parts of him that nobody else sees. I get the unhappy parts. I get this part. I get that part. Who in your life do you feel like gets to see the complete you, the ugly, the good, the bad, the in between? Who's that person that just sees it all, that you bear it all to?
My mom.
Yeah.
My mom and my closest friends.
Yeah.
My mom, she's been there when like I was really going through some things. since young and as an adult. And, you know, I have my moments where I'm just like angry and or sad, or she sees everything. Also, my friends too. Jeanette is like, she's like a sister to me. She keeps me grounded. Honestly, she keeps me grounded. When I've had moments where I just want to black out and I'm just like, I'm just tired. She's like, no, sweetie, get it together. Like, you're going to be fine. You know, like her, my mom, and then my friend Hikari, she's been, oh my gosh, you have to have her on the podcast. She's amazing. She's also creative. She's a creator. She's an influencer. And she's taught me so much. And I'd like to think that I've done that for her. But yeah, they keep me grounded. They see the true me though. Like, 24/7. Sometimes they're like Hikari and Jeanette, they'll be like, I really wish the world saw more of you, because there's parts that you don't show that people would find you so interesting. And I'm like, I'm not ready to let like everyone know every part of me, but you know, eventually in time. But yeah, those people have seen every part of me. And you know, my siblings, I have siblings. Yeah, and I'd like to think also sometimes, you know, my audience, they see parts of me. I share, you know, my ups. I've also shared my downs, not all of them, but I've expressed, you know, what I've been through or what I'm going through. Or when I'm on Threads, I'm just going off on Threads. Yeah. You want to see me talk? You go on Threads, because I'm going to voice my opinion for sure on Threads, for sure.
And so you're at this place in your life where you are walking in your truest form, right? At least in this present moment, you're the truest version of yourself that you've been. You have this great support system. Your family should be honored and praised for how they walk through this with you, because it takes that village that you said. What is it like navigating such a superficial industry where you do have to watch out for the snakes in the grass? You do have to watch out for the opportunistic people. Like, you're a very genuine person. How do you navigate this industry that's just very sharky?
Well, I'll start with saying how I had to learn some lessons, because I have always been, like I said, for the love and welcoming and always willing to help people. That is how I learned. Yeah. That was my experience of learning to now navigate through this snaky, weird industry, because you get a taste of it before, and then when you're in it, it's next level. I feel like the way that I just navigate through this industry is to just, every time I walk into the room, always show respect to people, always show up fully myself. And I feel like usually I am fine, but I do come across, you know, the microaggressions and the shady things that go on behind, you know, my back. Like, I found out one time I got flown out for a gig opportunity. I found out they didn't even really want me at one point, and someone had to fight for it. And that didn't sit well, because I'm like, wow, I'm showing up for a community. I'm showing up to do, you know, something for free majority of the times. And people talk badly behind your back. Like, I don't know. It's not the first time it's happened, and it won't be the last. But I would just say I sometimes give people grace and just, okay, shrug it off. And sometimes I find that people, when they see that you have that attitude of like, okay, they don't care. Yeah. Then they're like, oh, okay, we can't get to that person. We can't do anything to that person. So, yeah, I just navigate and just be myself. And they have no choice but to deal with me.
And then so you have that dark side of the industry, but you also have like the really cool side where like you going to movie premieres and you going to these events and talking at the Meta conference and like you're just doing all this amazing stuff. Talk about how it feels to just walk in that surreal feeling of like, man, I'm doing this with Sephora. I'm at Meta talking to 600 people. Honestly, those are the gifts for not falling into the darkness in the industry or in entertainment. Because, you know, I won't go too deep into the dark parts, but I've definitely ran
a couple of times from dark moments or just bad people. And I've said to myself, I'm okay with my journey being a little longer if I have to skip out on having to sell my soul or give my body up or whatever it is I've, had to deal with. So the gifts are being able to walk into the Meta headquarters and be able to speak to 600 people about what beauty should look forward to and what beauty needs from Black and brown creatives. It's a gift and opportunity, and so many other things. I have so many words I want to throw out there to walk a red carpet at a premiere. I just came from the Scream 7 premiere. Love horror, so I was so excited about that moment. And it's just an honor to walk a carpet and, like I said many times, represent so many people that look like me. To some people, they're like, okay, you just walked the red carpet. No, sweetie. For me, it was, I showed up for a community of people that need to be seen. And that's why I go to these carpets. I've turned down so many opportunities and so many things where I'm like, that doesn't call for me to be, I don't need to be there. I don't need to be there. I don't see that there's purpose in some of the stuff. But when there's an opportunity to show up, whether it's a red carpet or even for community events that is not being televised and filmed, those are the opportunities to show up, and represent for your community and your people. But I will say that I am honored to constantly, get those emails and calls to be at these special places and to partner with brands like Sephora and be the face for GMHC, which is the Gay Men's Health Crisis. And what's the word that people say? I don't take anything for granted.
Yeah.
You cannot take anything for granted. Like, sometimes it's these moments where I have to sit back and think like, wow, I really did all of that. Like, I really been here and went through this experience and that experience. And I really am carrying somewhat the weight of the world on my shoulders for a community that needs me. And yeah, so everything that I do in this space, I do it authentically and with peace in my heart and professionalism and taking the opportunity and running with it.
Yeah.
So that I could change the world. It sounds Miss America. It sounds very Miss America, but
I literally was about to say that. I was like, I'm on the verge of thinking you're about to change the world.
I want to.
You
I
are.
definitely want to change the world.
Your presence, what you stand for, what you're doing for the Latin community, what you're doing for the non-binary community, it's powerful. It's inspiring. It's necessary. I don't think people realize how necessary it is to have a loco to break through the doors so that other people can walk through easily. Yes. Do you get what I'm saying?
And first of all, again, thank you, because you are just too good. You're too good to me. You're just too good at this. But that moment, that what you just said about like the whole, like breaking the door down and whatever, I want to break the door down and hold the door so I can watch everyone run through that door and chase their whatever it is that they're chasing, even if they don't want to be in entertainment or the industry and they just want to live a happy life. Like, I want to experience that. So like that visual is always in my head of just seeing me holding a door open just to see everybody just running through. Like,
I love that.
It just makes me so happy and makes me want to continue to do this for however long I need to do this. Because I want to be here when I see things change. I do want to be alive still to see things shift and change. Yeah. So
I love that. I always close my episodes the same way. It's with 3 questions. And to me, it's because they evoke the type of message that I want this podcast to represent. So the first question is always simple. It's what used to matter to you before that doesn't matter to you anymore?
Money. I think we all need it, right? We all need it to survive and stuff. But I came to a moment at one time where I was coming into a lot of money, like through being a creative.
We know them.
I'm a mover and a shaker.
I'm
a mover and a shaker. I'll get specific. I had landed a T-Mobile commercial.
Yeah. No, I was just joking about
No,
the
I know,
job.
I know. I landed a T-Mobile commercial, and then in 2022, and like that for me, first of all, the money, right? It came
Yeah.
in, right. And when it hit the bank account, I was like, I'm still the same person.
Yeah.
I'm still like struggling with other things that are not financial. I'm still maneuvering through this crazy world that we live in. That big amount of money or the big, large amounts of money that come in, it has changed my perspective because I thought that just money always led to being happy
Yeah.
and successful, and it doesn't.
No.
You can be successful without money, and you can be successful and happy without, all of the fancy things and stuff that, yes, we do. I carry around, we all have a little expensive purse that we carry around, whatever, but it doesn't mean nothing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say money.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so with that said, what matters to you the most now?
Peace. My peace. Whether it's just being at home and watching RuPaul's Drag Race and, having a bowl of pasta that you made for yourself, like a whole thing of like my peace and happiness, and surrounding myself around people that love me and I love them unconditionally, and people that want to see me win. That's important for me.
Yeah.
And I want to be around people that are, going for their dreams, and I want to do the same for them. I want to push them. I want to support them and show up for them however they need me to. So, yes. Community
Community and peace.
Yes, community peace.
And I usually phrase this question for a high school graduation, but with you, I kind of want to go back to 13.
Okay.
If you could give 13-year-old Loco advice that would help him today, what would you have told yourself?
Oh my gosh. That is so good. That's a good question. Oh my gosh. There's so many things that I would want to say, but it's like not like super serious. It's more so like, obviously trust your gut. Surround yourself around people that want to see you win. Even before me going into the industry and doing music and all that, people that just want to see you win at life. What would I tell him? That it's going to be okay. That you're going to get to a place where you're going to fully love yourself, and there's going to be people that love you too. And you can survive all of the things that you have gone through and are going to go through. And you're going to matter to people, because that was my biggest thing. I felt like I didn't matter to anyone. And I was chasing love, chasing for someone to hear me and see me. And I got to a place, I want to tell him that I got to a place where I'm good. And you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And it's going to be scary. It's going to be so scary. But if you just remain who you are, the person that is being picked on right now, you're going to be okay. You're going to be loved for all of the things that you're hated for at 13. And it's going to matter. It's going to change the world. And I'm going to change the world. I'm going to do that.
Whew, gotta take a breath after that one.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, man.
I be getting emotional sometimes. Just, but yeah.
Look, Loco, I want to thank you so much for doing this for me. Thank you for being on this podcast.
Thank you for having me.
You do matter.
Thank you.
And for everybody watching at home, I want you to know that this is why I do this. I do it for you. I do it because I'm hoping that maybe this helps. I'm doing this because I'm hoping that maybe this heals. I'm doing this because I'm hoping that maybe this matters. Thank you.